So when you deploy RDS databases, you need to understand there are multiple architectural choices you need to make, that you can make actually. So the first is to use RDS read replicas. So let's take the example of your application that reads from your main RDS database. But say that now you need to scale the read workload, so you have more and more applications that need to read more and more data from RDS. The way you can do it is by creating read replicas. So that means that there's going to be some copies, some replicas of your RDS database that are going to be created. And this is going to allow your applications to read from this read replica also. And therefore, you're distributing the reads to many different RDS databases. So you can create up to 15 read replicas. And so as you can see in this example, I have 2 read replicas on top of my main RDS database, and my applications can read from all of them. Now, when it comes to writing data is only done to the main database. So your applications still have to write to the only one central RDS database, okay? So read replicas are used to scale reads. Now we have multi-AZ. And so this is helpful when you have to have failover in case of an AZ outage. So in case an availability zone like crashes, and this gives you high availability. So in this example, your applications still read and write from the same main RDS database, okay? But we are going to set up a replication cross AZ, so in another different availability zone. And this is going to be a failover database. And this is why it's called multi-AZ, because it's in a different AZ. Now, in case the main RDS database crashes for whatever reason, because maybe there's an issue with it, or maybe because the AZ is having problems, then RDS will trigger a failover, and then your application will failover to the failover database in a different AZ. So in this case, data is only read and written to the main database. The failover DB is passive. It's not accessible until there is an issue with the main database. And you can only have one other availability zone as a failover AZ. The last kind of deployment you can do is called multi-region. So this is for read replicas, but this time, instead of being in the same region, they are across different regions. So let's take an example. We have EUS1 for RDS database, and we're going to create a read replica in US East 2. And so applications in US East 2 can read locally from this read replica. But anytime these applications need to write data, the writes need to happen cross region, and so they need to write the data to US1. Same if you were to have also another region in AP Southeast 2, so in Australia, you would have the same concept. So why would you want a multi-region type of deployment? Well, number one, because you want to set up a disaster recovery strategy in case of a region issue. So if EUS1 is having a regional issue, then you have a backup in either US East 2 or AP Southeast 2, and this is why it's a disaster recovery strategy. And also, as we can see, our applications that are in different regions get better performance because they read from a local database, so they have less latency. But finally, when you do this, you need to understand that because you are replicating data across regions, then there is going to be a replication cost associated with the network transfers of data between regions. So that's it for RDS deployments. The scenarios that will be proposed to you at the exam will make it clear what deployment you should choose. So I hope you liked it, and I will see you in the next lecture.